Righto, Friday morning, back out at it. Been a busy couple of days doing other things. While I was out yesterday, I got new linear belts, or two of them that's all I could buy. And I replaced that. And took this bloody thing off while I was at it. It's a pain in the rear end. It's just a guide, and I don't need it. I've tidied up here a little bit. I think over the weekend I've got a couple of little things I'm going to do out here. I might clean up out here properly again. Like, it hasn't got too bad, but I want to keep on top of it. So anyway, today I'm going to do this, but I think I might leave that till later. I might go and get this up on the mill and see if I can. I should be able to bolt it. I've got me Pepsi, so I'm happy. Like that, and do this, take this out. So, like I said, it only needs 5mm, and that's what I'll do. And I think once that's done, I may. What else am I going to do? Oh, I wanted to do the other side, the alignment. And I was thinking of bracing this as well, because it had enough power to bend that here. I'm just worried about here now, even though it's sitting in there and it's bolted hard up against there, but I'm just worried about it bending it. So I may just here, just from the sides here, and just step it down. It only need to be sort of up to about here. See, I don't know if I can that side because it's offset, because it sits up against one side. It's offset because of the cutter on the pusher head. Anyway, I'll see. I'll work something out. It might be fine. It might be okay. I might even try and test it again first and see if it's going to bend that. I don't think it will somehow, because it's bolted hard up against underneath here. I'll see. I might even fix that weld. That weld looks like cocky shit, doesn't it? That's before I sorted my welder out. I know what I'm welding at now. I've got it sorted. I won't turn it on. It's too noisy. So let me get this set up in the mill, and then I might play with this and see. Stay tuned. Righto, I've got him bolted down. I've got that set, and I should be able to make it just without hitting that. But I've got to have to take it in, I don't know, a couple of mil, and then just go down a couple at a time, because this thing's going to jump and bounce all over the friggin' place as it usually does. I've got that quill down a little bit lower than it needs to be, but I've proved that it makes no difference. Where the quill is still going to chatter the same. So just so I can get it up, and if I need to move it out of the road, I can clear the tool. So let's go on the stand and see if we can do this without breaking something, eh? Alright, let's do this. I'll try not to get in the way. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Anyway, let's see what happens. I'm going to continue on here. When I'm done, I'll bring you back. I'll have a look at it. Stay tuned. Right, I've got that finished. It was a struggle. I used the 3/4 slot drill because the end mill's buggered. Then I thought I'd put this in just to do the corners. It's buggered. I'm looking at some carbide mills, end mills and slot drills, but I just don't have the money at the moment. About $60 I think for a set of 8, and that's from 2 up to 12 I think. So I just have to wait and see. Just have to do with what I've got at the moment, I'm afraid. Alright, so that's done. Let me get this off and then we'll think about what we're going to do next. Stay tuned. Right, I've got this clamped down here. I think the next thing I'm going to tinker with, I'm going to do this too, but I might do that sort of almost last up. Weld it, let it cool, and I'll machine the sides. And I'll be ready to start putting it back together. I want to sort this. This is not right. What I've done is I've tried too hard to get it to match. And see, this is what happens. See that? There's a gap here. Now I made this to fit this. There's water dripping outside, it's been raining. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sit the carriage in there. I'm going to cut that out, cut that one out, or cut both of them out. Screw it. I'm going to cut them out. And then I'm going to redo it. I'm going to machine it so it fits there. And then, if the cutter hits, then I'm going to machine, you know, a couple of half a mil off there. I've got enough room to do that. I have that luxury. I think that's going to be the easiest way for me to do it. Just let me get the other one, get the cutter head up in here, and we'll have another look. Right, I've got that sitting in there. And see, here's where the problem is. When I could sit it back like that. When I set it up in there, I sit it like that and then tighten this down. But when this operates backwards and forwards, I might have it a little bit too tight, right? See that? That's what it does. Even if I do that, but if I do that and then tighten it down, there's not going to be close enough to cut. So just let me look at the screen. Look at the screen, Tony. Don't look at the job. Look at the screen. So yeah, that's fairly good. I don't like that. I do not like that. That's back in can crushing. No, that's copper cutting. Can crushing is back further, but just let me, I'll sit that there. So I think I've been approaching this the wrong way. Now that's just nipped, I can't do too much. But if I get this, now that's gone tied up against here because I'm having trouble moving it. I don't think I've... Just let me make sure, I'll just back that off a little bit. Yeah, no, it's not that. It's... See that? Hear that? That's what it does. Even if I... See, that's got a little bit of movement too. If I can get that movement out, it might be alright. But as I say, I've got to shim the bottom. Maybe I should do that so I can clamp it properly. Because that's wobbling like that because it's this bolt up here. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just going to be a pain in the backside. Now see, I've nipped that up and that's not moving. Although I can't slide it either. So let me think about it. I'm going to shim it. I'll see if I can find something, I don't know what. Maybe if I use just a bit of copper or something for now. I must have something here somewhere I can use. So I've got bound to have something, even if I use gasket paper, or I don't think I've even got gasket paper. Maybe just a bit of wet and dry. I only need something thin so I can lock this up and test it. Bear with me for a sec. Alright, it's been a little while. I've been on the phone to my mum. She's going through a hell of a time at the moment. Anyway, I shimmed that, and there's bugger all movement, and when it goes backwards a little bit sticky because I wiped all the grease off, as you can see, it doesn't hit anymore. So I think I might have solved that. It's going to save me a lot of work doing this, because what time is it? 10:30. So I'll get out here a little bit early today. So all I did was I patched it with a piece of plastic, a bit of ice cream container. I put 2 in and it was way too loose, so I took 1 out, and that's done up tight. That T-nut's tight. It's very little, as you can see, very little side to side movement. Just a little bit up and down, but once I wear it in and I'll make a steel shim, I'll measure that plastic and make it just a touch thicker. Make it out of maybe copper or something that's not going to compress, a bit of steel somewhere. You can buy shim material, but for what I'd use, it's probably not worth the investment, but I'll work something out. So that's good. That's saved me a shit ton of work, as you can see that. It's still a bit sticky going back, but I've wiped all the grease off it, so, and I think that'll be close enough to cut. So that's one problem solved. So what I might do now is clean up some of this flammable shit so I don't set fire to the place again. I didn't do a video of that, did I? A week or so back I was welding something and I had a rag here, I didn't realise it. And next thing I see flames. I thought, oh, I guess I better put that out. Yeah. Safety plus. Work cover. Welcome in. Right, now let me sort this out. I'll get these clamped on. I'll get the welder set up ready. And I'll tack those. I'll just get this out of the road for now, because I think that's pretty much done now. As I said, I'm pretty impressed that that's, because even if I try and push it to the side, come on, move, it still doesn't catch. So that's all it was. I just had to pack that T-nut and get it tight. Alright, let me set this up and I'll bring you back. Right, I've just got those loosely clamped on there and marked. The crosses are where they're going to be welded, so there'll be 3 50mm welds on the outside, 2 70mm on the inside. So let me tack those on and get it square. I mean, that's got to come over, but I'm just going to run a tack on the inside of that one, on the outside of that one, because you can see that one needs to come in, that one will need to go out. So just let me tack those. Alrighty, it's all welded out. It's pretty square. I don't know whether it's moved. It looks like it's still square. It doesn't have to be overly precise because it's underneath, and you probably won't see that anyway. So, but I do want to clean it up. So I've got my little USB fan. Just, I mean, it doesn't move a whole lot of it, but enough just to cool it down, move a bit of air over it. So I'm going to take it up, just trim the sides down, because as you can see, there's plenty of penetration there. So yeah, clean that up and then see where we go from there. Then I guess I'll start putting it back together. I'm only probably going to work till lunchtime today, maybe a little bit after, like I usually do. I'll work until I'm ready to finish, so 1:30 ish, and then I'll go and have lunch. Just so I can do the usual Friday afternoon stuff, you know, get the video off, start editing it. Even though there's only one day on this one, I think my videos are starting to get a little bit too long, and probably because I do what I'm doing now, I'm talking. But to me, that's thinking out loud, if it makes sense to anybody. I can sometimes work things out better if I'm talking to somebody, so, and you poor bastards are the ones I'm talking to. Sometimes I'll even get the wife to come out and have a look. She doesn't understand a single thing, but I can talk to her, and it helps in my head sort out what I want. So, just the way that I am, unfortunately. But, it is what it is, and we're going to go up now and see if we can get this sorted. Then I might put it back together and try and run it. I don't know whether I'm going to, I want to test it. I might crush a can, now that I've opened that gap up. So, we'll bolt it back together, get it running again, and I'll crush a can, or a couple of cans. How's that sound? Stay tuned. Righto, here we go, ready to go. We've got it clamped there on some parallel blocks. That there. And I put the thing on it, the electronic level, and it's only 0.1 or 0.2 of a degree out on both ways, so that'll do. I'm just going to machine that to a clean up, and we'll turn it over. That'll give you a flat surface. I'll bolt it directly to the table then. Let's do it. Rightio, we're back together, we're greased. I've run it. Doesn't hit. I'm making all sorts of weird ass noises and like a knocking sound. Then I realised I hadn't greased it, and the knocking sound was just the T-nut biting. As soon as I put a bit of grease on it, it's fine. So there we go. And as you can see, it's gone. See, the gap's fixed. The only problem now is that might be too close, but that's fine. I can always adjust this back. But just give me a second. I'm going to move that back and throw a couple of cans in. Ready? Oh, look at that! How good is that? I've got no more cans. I thought I had more. Let me scull this one. Look at that. I might leave it now. I don't want to stuff around too much because I want to make the... Before I go a whole lot further, you know what? I might make the cassette for it to load cans in. We've got a stack on the back patio. I'll just go and grab some. So let me pick up one of these. There you go. Look at that. Crush them nice and they fall through. Well, we've had one win. The other video I said was 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Well, we're just taking 2 steps forward again. So without taking any steps back. And that's running nice and smooth, and that's tight. That T-nut is tight. Let me put my teeth back in. So that's nice. You know what, I might go and get a couple more cans. I want to send a video to Dion and I'll take it with my phone. Just stand by. Right, man, here we go. This, drop one in. Look at that. So if it doesn't get it first go, we'll get it the second time. Look at that, see, that's the bigger ones. That's the monster can. So, bloody marvellous. Good to see I'm finally having a win. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the cassette up to load them, and then I'm going to work on the copper. Alrighty, well I did a little video. I'll get it off my phone and I'll include it. I actually went and got a monster can, one of the bigger ones, and crushes it fine. So I think what I'm going to do next time. Yeah, and that's been running for about 15 minutes now. It's not even warm, not even lukewarm. What I might do before I do anything else is work on making the cassette to feed them, and get that sorted, because I only really need it to make it, like I'm going to make it so it sits in. Like weld a couple of round bits there to slot it in, and only take about, I don't know, 4 or 5 cans, so only be about this high. So you just keep loading the cans in. Even if it's ahead of you, when you drop the can in, if it's running, it'll just stop, because I've got to put a plate on here to come back, so you know when it's all the way down the other end, we don't get a can falling on here. And when it comes back, the can will fall down, crush it. Come back, fall down, crush. So there we go. We've got a few, and that's crushing them nice. Crushing them real good. Like I said, even that monster can, that was what was worrying me, because yeah, they're bigger, and it fits. So I'm going to make it so that you can feed any can into it. Yeah. So while I'm buoyed by that small win, I might do the can feeder. Get that out of the way before I work out. I should be able to cut wire now, that won't be a problem. Just whether it's going to cut pipe. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I might have to finish these off, sharpen them, harden them. If I could have a raised cutting edge on here, so that meets like a scissor edge, like shears, that will cut it a little bit better. Worst case scenario, as I say, it'll cut wire or it'll crush cans. It's a pretty flash can crusher though, I must admit. Anyway, that's going to do me for the day. I'm starving, go in and have some lunch. Get some groceries down my neck, get this off the camera and get it up. So, and it starts all about jamming straight up, so you're probably going to want it about there for cans, I reckon. Yeah, around about there. Oh, I suppose you could go a little faster. You definitely don't want to go up like, that's just that's caught in trouble. Like I said, we'll have to just test it and see. Well, about 40 hertz. I reckon that's going to be a good crushing speed. Anyway, I'll shut this off, turn everything off and go inside. So thanks for hanging out. You know, if you're new to this channel, subscribe. I don't usually ask people on camera to subscribe, but it'd help if you could. Leave a comment. Tell me if something you see that you think I could do better. I'm always open to suggestions. Trust me. So yeah, leave a comment if you like. And thanks for hanging around. And until next time, as always, you stay safe. Peace.